Welcome to AsArt. Space.
Hold on to your butts.
Hey everyone, welcome back to AsArt with Nick and John. Today we're going to be talking about Parasite, which Nick and I both failed to see before the Academy Awards. So we saw it afterwards after it won all the awards. So we both know we've seen it, but we haven't talked about it at all. So I'm really curious to see how we came out on this. So did you even know what it was about?
No, I didn't even watch a trailer. If that even like puts anything in perspective.
I had no idea what it was about, but I had somewhat high expectations going in because Koreans know how to make some dark, messed up films. Like, like Old Boy is one of my all-time favorites. And so anyway, so things like that. So going in, the title Parasite, I thought it was like a post-apocalyptic, like 28
which is totally
days
plausible.
later.
I mean, it's totally
so I thought it was going to be like zombies or something. So when it ended up being this story, I was like, oh, I was completely off. So tell me what you thought.
I thought it was a beautiful film. There was just like so many good visuals. Like it was a great movie. Like I have nothing like against the film. It was I enjoyed it. It was fun going on and like seeing the family. I just really enjoyed the whole visuals, how the family lived underground, but they had a window. So together looking at, I mean, there were so many good visuals that are like really tied this movie together. Like, and the montages were fun. Right, yeah, there was like a couple, I think, montages that were. I've only seen the movie once, so it's like trying to go off my memory, but I really enjoyed it. I really liked the visuals of like the poor class and stuff, and I don't want to talk about the ending, but spoilers for the ending, maybe.
So maybe we can do a non-spoiler section, then we'll do a spoiler section. So it's
I have a fun twist on the ending, so.
All right, cool.
Which
So right now, starting off, you guys, we're gonna get it to where there's no major spoilers. And then we'll do afterwards, we'll say, we'll break it up either in separate videos or in a separate section.
Do you want to do a quick little breakdown, like a rough, like what the story's about, kind of?
So basically, there's this family, like Nick was saying, that's living in a semi-basement, I think they referred to it in the movie, to where it's in a sub-level, but they have a little window that you can see out. It's kind of like basements in the United States where, there's always a window in case there's a fire, you can get out. So they live in kind of like, a sub-level in a not so nice neighborhood. And you can, at the beginning, they're very, very poor and they're trying to figure out a way to make money and they're trying to figure out a way to make a living, even just have wireless.
They are very smart.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very,
very smart family. But most scavengers are smart though. Because they have to use their wits to kind of like, but anyways, keep going. Sorry about that.
And so anyway, in a roundabout way, the son ends up being connected with this rich family, and he starts working for him. And basically, they, as a family, the lower class family tries to figure out a way that they can make a living off of this more not entitled, but more well-off family.
And then basically, they start to work for them, and that's the farthest we'll go. Until we get into spoilers.
Exactly. I'm like, how far do I want to go?
Spoil too much, but it's so interesting how they play like the rich class and the poor class, and like there's that scene which is like literally like this felt like two different movies to me. Like you have the first half of them getting into the house, and then when the lightning strikes, it like shifts to the second. So when the doorbell rings, it's like a different movie completely. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we're watching two films in like the first half and the second half, and the movie actually starts in the second half. I feel like it's just like whoa, because that's when it gets all serious and the dramas and stuff. But it's interesting how they portrayed the rich family, because most of the time the poor families are the gullible dumb ones, I feel like. And it was like interesting to see the flip of power. But I don't know. Yeah, go on. I'm sorry. I've been talking a lot.
I mean, that's some of my favorite things about the movie is that it was a fantastic movie. So there's a lot of characters in that movie. You have two families, you have some people outside the families, and every character by the end of the movie, you have a very good idea of what they're about. You could give a synopsis for each character and have it be very accurate. And you see them go through this journey of being ultra poverty. They have a home, but they're losing everything they have and trying to make it work. And then you see them rise up. And like one of my favorite, and it's not a spoiler, but one of my favorite parts in the movie is this poor family talking about the rich family. And they're like, God, this person's so dumb. And they go, It's not that they're dumb.
Oh no, they're
so
they're
dumb
like
and nice.
gullible and nice or something like that. It was
Yeah, it's like well, yeah, when you're rich,
people
you can
nice.
afford to be that. Yeah, you can afford to be that.
Yeah.
And
rich people, it's easy for them to be nice because they're rich.
Yes.
And then I think the mother was like, I would be super nice if I was rich or something like that. Like they were going off and stuff. And that's when like everything switches.
But that's kind of one of the things I really liked about this movie is they say a lot about society and politics, but it's not in your face at all. It's through the natural interactions, a lot of storytelling just through the scenery and the nonverbal acting. And then
can we also say like this year is like the year of the underclass rising against the upper? I mean, like the Joker, Uncut Gems, Knives Out was like this rich wealthy family, but then like the maid gets like all that, you know what I mean? It's just so interesting. Like this movie, I think there's even more like Hustlers, I think it was another one. Us. It's like the year of like just the lower class going like
and I've missed a number of these. I've missed a number of those. Knives Out I have on my list. I think that's coming in the mail soon, so I can watch that. But Uncut Gems I haven't seen yet, so I have some things to catch up on. But you're right, it is kind of that type of
it was
year.
like the 2019 vibes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just like get everything out before the decade.
But another thing I really liked about the movie, you're talking about the lighting and the cinematography, kind of where they have just a little window, then they have
the visuals.
It's not just light, but at this wealthy family's house, it's a lot of natural light.
Yes.
And then in the poor areas, especially in a certain scene when kind of natural light. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's so cool too. Like every time they go to the rich people's house, they have to go upstairs. They always have to walk up to the upper class. Like there's even a hill. And then whenever they go back home, like the scene where it's flooding in the rains and stuff, they literally had to go down how many levels of stairs. Like they had to go back to where they belong, like underground. And then like joking and just, you know what I mean? It was just so interesting.
There's even some lines in the movie where these people, the people that are impoverished, they know like we don't fit here, and they'll ask characters like, "Do we fit in here? Do I fit in here?" It's very interesting how
that was
on an impoverished level they're very conscious of things, whereas the people who are more wealthy are just kind of, like you said, kind of gullible, and like you said, they're very
aware of their class.
Yes,
they're aware of their class and their level.
Yeah,
almost.
And it's funny, at first they kind of are just kind of fortunate for the opportunity, and they're like, gosh, she's kind of dumb, but then they start to build up resentment as they kind of see
the father does, especially, right? Like,
so there's some very interesting dynamics and some building.
Really,
but it's great. The character development's really so I thought it was a great movie. It's the first Korean film to ever win an Academy Award, I think, especially Best Picture.
I mean,
I think it
was a good movie, man. It was a good movie.
Yes, it was very solid.
I am so happy a foreign film won. Like, I'm stoked
it's really,
by
really
that.
cool.
Just that idea, because I really don't care about the Oscars. I really could care less who wins. Any of that stuff. So, like, for me, it's like, yeah, rock on! You know?
That being said, is this the best foreign film you've ever seen?
No.
You know, meaning the first Academy Award, Best Picture, and then also, is this the best picture of the year that you saw?
Oh, see, that's tough. But then again, like, it's a different culture, right? It's like a completely different culture when it comes to, even though it was a very, very funny film. The first half of the film,
a lot of dark comedy.
Very funny.
Great dark comedy,
Great. I mean, they hit all the beats and stuff, but I don't know if it's because there's like a barrier there with the language and having to read subtitles and also like look at the visuals and I you know what I mean, and like understanding the culture and stuff. But like to me, I really enjoyed like JoJo Rabbit a lot. And I really enjoyed like 1917 a lot too. Like those were probably my two favorites. This is up there because I enjoyed it. It was. I mean, man, what a good year for movies. I feel like movies came back this year. Like we had Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. We've had so many good films, and me personally, I wouldn't have picked it for the Oscars. I probably would have went with like 1917 or JoJo Rabbit.
For Best Picture, you're talking about.
Yes, for Best Picture. But you know though, like, after breaking it down and like seeing the visuals of the windows and where they're at and like the classes, it's a good movie. Like it could have went any way and I would have been fine with it because like it was a good movie. It was a good movie.
So the downside is that I haven't seen a lot of foreign films this year, so I don't know what else is out there. But as
that
far
was
as
the only
being
foreign film I watched this year.
Yeah. So as far as being a super solid film, it is. Would it have had the same reception if it was a United States made movie or, like an American made movie? I'm not sure. But the cool thing is, these foreign films typically do not have the same type of budget, and yet they still deliver this beautiful cinematography,
Yes.
these cool locations, a very, like, story-wise, I think that, like you were saying when we were talking about 1917, 1917 is a very simple story. It's about these two guys, and the crazy part for you and I partially was no cuts, no visible cuts. But when you look at the story, I feel like this is maybe a stronger story. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and JoJo Rabbit, they're all very different. And that's why I think the Oscars and Academy Awards are kind of silly, is because how do you pick a best picture? Like, well, these are completely different types of movies. And cinematography, especially if you look at 1917 and like this movie or Joker or any of the other, the cinematography is way different too. So like what qualifies as best visual effects or best cinematography? It's really, really hard. But that being said, I don't know if I would have gotten around to seeing this if it didn't get as many awards. I like a lot of foreign films, and I'm a fan of foreign films. By the way, so this is something, for you guys as well, but Nick, so when I was looking up, I didn't read the whole Wikipedia page. It was kind of late, but I was starting to read about Parasite, and they have the best, what each country considers their best movies of all time. And so the best Swedish movies, that might be fun to go through because you don't mind foreign films, right? It might be fun to go through some, best foreign films from different countries. And that might give us some insight into their cultures too. That might be kind of fun.
Run, Lobo, Run.
Oh, is that? I've had that forever. I've never gotten around to watching it. I need to watch it.
German, right? I think it's German movie.
Oh, is it? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
She has like the pink hair or whatever, right? Purple hair. I first heard about that film when I was in grad school, and all these years later, I still have not watched it. So I need to watch it for sure. I know.
Shame.
Ling, ling, ling.
I'm the shame wizard.
I'm kind of the same thing, in the same boat as you, is that it's hard for me to pick, does this deserve best? Did it swept a lot of the Oscars?
I'm stoked on it winning, though. I mean, I'm down for something different. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always down for... And it's like, cool. I'm happy it won because it gave me an opportunity to watch it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know if I would have watched
and
it.
I do like Korean films. They tend to have these hardcore stories with dark humor and just dark subject matter. And this might jumpstart their industry a little bit too. At least give it more recognition.
I really want to go and watch this director's, the other films of this director.
Yeah.
I'm really interested now.
That being said, if I think of Korean films, my favorite Korean film is still Old Boy. Like that would never win an Academy Award. That's dude,
though.
I feel like it's just the story, though. It's
creepy story.
There's some great story. Yeah, it's never type of. It's not a mainstream movie that would win awards for sure. But that, and I had no idea going
it's so
into that
much
one.
better than when the American remake.
Oh my gosh. And that's the problem. It's like we got the American remake, Spike Lee with Josh Brolin, and I love Josh Brolin, but it's just like, oh man.
Even like the most iconic fight scene, the way they moved the camera, it took all of the like tension of the first way they filmed it with it just panning like left and right. I was just like, what?
We're completely breaking off into Old Boy, but there's this. So I used to show it in my classes that I teach as like, this is like a really cool, like you don't have to move the camera that much. That was one take, and it took them like 3 days to get that shot because it was a crazy fight sequence with a whole mob of people. And, they had to do it in one take.
So
but
good,
anyway,
though.
but
so good.
We don't want to get off on that. But yeah, so Parasite was awesome.
Parasite was awesome. We reviewed 1917. You should check it out. We also did
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and JoJo Rabbit.
JoJo Rabbit, yeah.
And we're going through them all. I think our next one will be Uncut Gems. And we're just gonna.
Well, that wasn't nominated, but we'll get through that.
No,
we'll get to.
I've watched it already, and I've been trying to get John to watch it because I really like that.
I haven't watched it quite yet. Yeah. So Uncut Gems, and then you've seen Knives Out. It's called.
Oh yeah,
right?
Knives Out is another good one. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it because what's his name? Daniel Craig had a very American accent. He was very American. Like he was like an American detective. It's really good.
Oh, how hilarious.
I'm bad at accents, so sorry, guys.
So yeah, guys, so check out the other shows we did on those other movies. There's a lot of different types of content we have on the channel, based from music to movies to games and everything else. Go and check out AsArt.space. You can check out the audio podcasts and the visual stuff as well. And we'll see you on the next AsArt.